आहे मोमिन इतकरा के तूफान का. Arrival of Hazrat Aqdas Khalifatul Masih IV at Soekarno-Hatta International Airport on June 20, 2000 ended a quite long period of waiting of Jamaat Ahmadiyah Indonesia for the coming of their beloved Imam to Indonesia. Huzur's arrival was received and welcomed by the Director of International Forum for Islamic Studies, Professor Dawam Raharjo. In the VIP room with putting garland of Huzur's neck followed by a short welcome ceremony, the welcome ceremony was also participated by the Amir and missionary in charge Jamaat Ahmadiyah Indonesia, along with other national Majlis-e-Amla office bearers. The scheduled 22 days visit in this country has a full-packed agenda, starting from internal Jamaat activities such as visiting various local Jamaats, annual gathering, Friday service, until external activities such as courtesy call to high official of the state, international seminar, and dialogue with Muslim intellectuals of the country.
Langsung bergerak ke belakang, belakang.
The first activity ever done by Huzur in his external activity during the visit to Indonesia was that to see the chairman of the People's Consultative Assembly, Professor Dr. Amin Rais. This courtesy call was conducted the day after Huzur's arrival in Jakarta, precisely on June 21, 2000. Huzur was welcomed at the building where the representative of the Indonesian people amiably and brotherly.
My ulama brothers, what do you think? It is recommended by Islam to let the war just like that. He said, no. It is against our religion. So why is it that you do not stop? You do not tell the people? And then they said, if I say that, my security will be in danger.
Your visit to Indonesia, and then I know that
During the meeting, lasting more than 1 hour, Professor Dr. Amin Rais expressed his admiration toward Jamaat Ahmadiyah, particularly with regards of dakwah activities conducted intensively by Jamaat Ahmadiyah through the MTA International. The courtesy call party to the People's Consultative Assembly Parliament Building includes also Amir Jamaat Indonesia and some other national Majlis-e-Amla office bearers.
Right.
Very kind, very kind. This is Indonesian. No? Okay.
The next day, after having courtesy call to the Parliament House, Huzur flew over to Yogyakarta to appear as a keynote speaker in the international seminar held by the Department of Philosophy to the Gajah Mada State University in collaboration with the International Forum for Islamic Studies. जिसने तो रत सर की बरे नमरूद का तुम दुआएं करो
किबरे नमरूद का है अज़ल से ये तकदीर नमरूदियत है अज़ल से ये तकदीर नमरूदियत आप ही आग में अपनी जल जाएगी दो घड़ी सब्र से काम लो साथियों आफते जुल्मतो yortal जाएगी.
Pemirsa, sekarang kami berada di depan Geraha Sabha Pramana, Auditorium Universitas Gadjah Mada, tempat di mana insya Allah akan berlangsung seminar internasional sehari yang bertemakan revitalisasi umatan wahidah dan kebangkitan umat dalam menghadapi tantangan era globalisasi.
This seminar, attended by 600 invitees, was held on June 24, 2000, took place at Geraha Sabha Pramana Hall of the Gadjah Mada University. The agenda of this seminar was one of the top activities of Huzur's agenda in his tour to Indonesia. The seminar, which was directly telecast throughout the world by the MTA, took the theme of revitalization of the unity of Muslims in the era of Millennium III. It was for the sake of completing the material subject of the seminar that the committee deemed it necessary to invite the Imam of Jemaat Ahmadiyah to deliver address as keynote speaker to the seminar. The agenda was started with the recitation of the Holy Quran by an 11-year-old boy of Yogyakarta, then opening address of Professor Ikhlasul Amal, director of Gadjah Mada University, who is as well as being a Reformation component, follow it.
Pemakalah dan para pemandu seminar ini Profesor Dawam Raharjo, Dr. Kamarudin Hidayat, Dr. Abdul Munir Mulkan, dan Bapak Fahri Ali, serta para hadirin dan peserta seminar yang saya hormati. Seminar Revitalisasi Persatuan Umat Islam di Era Milenium Ketiga diselenggarakan oleh Universitas Gadjah Mada bersama-sama dengan IFIS, International Forum on Islamic Studies. Perlu saya jelaskan mengapa Universitas Gadjah Mada menganggap perlu memprakarsai seminar ini. Pertama, Universitas Gadjah Mada mempunyai fakultas filsafat. Nah, karena itu tadi ketua panitianya juga adalah pejabat dekan fakultas filsafat, yang di dalamnya jelas di samping filsafat yang umum yang diajarkan.
Then the time came up for Hazrat Aqdas Khalifatul Masih to deliver his 1-hour address. Among other things, Huzur dwelt upon the main point of dissension over occurred between Muslim community in the world. He said that the only way to achieve solution for the unification of Muslim community in the world is return to the basic, namely to the genuine Islam as introduced by the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
The death of other religions is tantamount to their own survival. In contrast to this, Islam teaches that every religion holding the belief in a supreme deity is intrinsically true. By believing in this universally applicable principle, either all religions of the world have to be considered divine, or all of them have to be rejected as dead. All of them originally believed in the same Allah, referring to this, while Islam believes that all of them originally believed in the same Allah. Referring to this, the Holy Quran addresses the Prophet in the following verses. I'm not sure whether I have delivered this speech as in the time as you expected, or taken more time of yours, but this is all I had to say, and I wait here for any questions to be raised regarding this speech or any other subject matter.
After the conclusion of the speech, Professor Dr. Dawam Raharjo, who was acting as moderator, opened a question and answer session.
Apa yang terbangun opini di tingkat internasional bahwa Islam melakukan pembantaian itu sesungguhnya adalah hal yang tidak benar. Sehingga Dr. Yose sempat ke keliling Eropa untuk melakukan klarifikasi terhadap dunia internasional tentang peristiwa Halmahera. Ini tolong untuk disampaikan bahwa peristiwa yang sesungguhnya terjadi di sana, umat Islam terbantai, dan apa yang dilakukan oleh umat Islam bukan reaksi, tapi aksi terhadap.
An interesting issue posed in the session was the appeal of one advisor of Sultan Hamengkubuwono III of Yogyakarta, addressed to Hazrat Aqdas Khalifatul Masih, to help realize the plan of founding an Islamic village upon an area of 500 square meters donated by Sultan. Huzur said that the answer is whether Jamaat would ready to accept the appeal or not that matters, but whether the Society of Islam at Yogyakarta in particular would be ready or not to cooperate with Ahmadiyya. During the next session, some other Muslim intellectuals also gave their opinion against the topic as forwarded by Huzur.
Dari Virginia, ya, kurang lebih 50 orang berkumpul, dan ternyata memang kita merupakan minoritas di tengah-tengah mayoritas masyarakat Madani yang lain.
On the day of June 28, 2000, President Abdurrahman Wahid, familiarly called Gus Dur, has spared time to receive the courtesy call of Huzur at Binagraha, official presidential office at Jakarta. The meeting was also covered by the TPI and TVRI broadcasting station. President Gus Dur asked Jamaat Ahmadiyya to help the Muslim community in Indonesia to solve various kind of critical issues. Huzur said that he was impressed by the friendliness of Gus Dur, due to the fact that being a head of state of the biggest Islamic nation, Gus Dur is ready to receive him.
Ternyata sopir taksinya itu adalah orang yang memberikan khutbah Jumat tersebut. Sedangkan kenek-keneknya adalah orang-orang yang ikut serta di dalam.
Another external activity of Huzur in the framework of his tour to Indonesia was attending the dialogue with Muslim intellectuals, experts in Indonesia. Huzur being invited in his capacity as Imam Jamaat Ahmadiyya International was requested to become a keynote speaker in the dialogue held on June 29, 2000, taking place at the Regent Hotel at Jakarta.
The Prophet of God,
the dialogue managed by the International Forum on Islamic Studies was attended by over 150 experts from Indonesia as well as from abroad.
and he has brought no new religion.
The director of IFIS, Professor Dr. Dawam Raharjo, who has played substantial role in introducing Huzur among intellectual circle in Indonesia, was acting as moderator in the dialogue.
So he is made a messenger for this age only to promote
Egy Sujana from PPMI.
During the session of question and answers, some questions arose in the existence of Ahmadiyya, yet there were also some explorative questions, such as appeal to the build of economy of Muslim community.
About your
The session was terminated with a question from a participant of Australia, who exposed the substantial existence of Ahmadiyya movement as an Islamic movement.
And then you write, I propose the entire world of Islam should adopt measures similar to the measures of Ahmadiyya Muslim community and may never highlight their internal differences. I agree 100%. They should endeavour to establish the superiority of Islam in a positive manner so that even the non-Muslims will be attracted to watch. And of course, the more they watch, the more they hear, and the more they understand, and the more their hearts are turned by Allah towards Islam, the more they will convert to Islam. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jazakumullah asrul jaza. Hazrat Maulvi Sahib, I 100% agree with you, and I deeply respect you for your open-mindedness, open-heartedness, and your bravery to speak for the mayors of Jamaat Ahmadiyya taken throughout the world. Allah bless you. May you rise to greater height in the sight of Allah. I am very happy with you. Jazakumullah asrul jaza.
Meanwhile, Professor Dr. Amin Rais also read out his paper concerning practical politics after Huzurs.
Ketua DPR-nya Akbar Tanjung, ketua mantan memang seperti kata Mas Minang tadi, ini jauh sekali dari role model tadi. Bahwa bahan-bahan bakunya sepertinya ada.
This seminar was awaited since long time by members of Jemaat in Indonesia, particularly by practitioners of homeopathy, in view that Huzurs himself is known as an expert of homeopathy who has written a book on this.
Such patients require a very
The existence of homeopathy amidst the Indonesian society capture many intention of various layers of the public, either of the medical circle such as doctors or general people who are interested in medical affairs,
or trauma caused by accidents, etc. Of course, single remedies should normally be used, but during emergencies, when a homeopath has little time to diagnose, well-prepared mixtures may come in handy. For a sudden attack of hemorrhage, diarrhea, or severe colic, for instance, a few pills of the relevant mixture often provide immediate relief.
This homeopathy attracts many sympathy, as the community offer officially homeopathical medication free of charge.
Untuk maksud tersebut, IFIS atau International Forum on Islamic Studies ingin memperkenalkan dan memasyarakatkan sistem pengobatan hemopati. Melalui seminar ini diharapkan pengetahuan tentang pengobatan hemopati makin tersosialisasikan.
Kita mengenal sistematika. Sebelum kita memberikan terapi, biasanya kita membuat diagnosis lebih dahulu.
Beliau menjelaskan bahwa sistem mendiagnosa penyakit dalam sistem pengobatan homeopati yaitu dengan simptom.
Almost all of private TV broadcasting stations at Jakarta telecast the agenda. One thing absolutely beyond estimation was that there was enthusiasm of media circles, either printing media or electronic media, in covering the visit of Huzurs with his activities. Internally, the MTA Indonesian program has intensively covered all the events and even telecasted directly from Jumat sermons consecutively and one Huzur's address in the international seminar at Yogyakarta. The direct telecasting in particular of the MTA Indonesian program has worked in cooperation with PT Indosat using the satellite news gathering SNG device.
Or taken more time of yours.
Another big agenda in the framework of Huzur's extensive visit to Indonesia was that his contribution in the Jalsa Salana Indonesia. For that reason that the Jalsa Salana 2000 in Indonesia marked a record as the annual of history of Jamaat Ahmadiyah Indonesia as the most successful, most unique, and most lively Jalsa of all the Jalsa ever held in Indonesia. Anticipating the boom of number of participants, two giant semi-permanent structures have been set up within 2 months, functioning as a Jalsa Gah for accommodating 20,000 of participants. Prior to the D-Day of Jalsa, precisely on June 29, 2000 evening, Huzur's Akdas was willing to make an inspection around the premises of Jalsa ground, which covers area of 40 hectares. On midday, the June 30, 2000, the blissful special Jalsa Salana was solemnly opened by the Hazrat Akdas Khalifatul Masih, prior to which a ceremony of flying flags was conducted by Huzurs.
Amen.
And then followed by Jumat service, which was broadcasted directly throughout the world by the MTA Indonesian program and was also relayed by all TV stations existing in Jakarta.
Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
As already predicted, the presence of Huzur in the special Jalsa Salana has made an extraordinary boom in participants locally as well globally. So much so that the Mubarak campus was as if a small town. On July 2nd, the special Jalsa Salana 2000 was solemnly terminated with a farewell address by Hazrat Khalifatul Masih, which was full of prayers and hope for the better future of Indonesian people.
बेइंतहा गंदी तकरीरें करके मौलवियों ने एक पुरअमन जगह को पाकिस्तान में तबाह बर्बाद कर दिया और कसरत से मासूम अहमदियों को लूटा गया, उनके घर जलाए गए। बस आप उन सब मजलूमों को अपनी दुआ में कभी ना भूलें। ये उन्हीं की दुआओं का फैज़ है, मैं समझता हूँ कि दुनिया भर में अल्लाह ताला अहमदियत को ये तरक्की अता फरमा रहा है।
Doa dimulai.
Before coming here, we could not even imagine that how those people will make such a decent arrangement for so many people. I was told that there are about more than 16,000 people here, staying here. And I don't find anything, no garbage, there was shortage of nothing. The water is plenty, and I find cleanliness everywhere. I find people standing to help.
Pada detik-detik saya diberitahu telepon bukan surat, saya segera urus keberangkatan saya. Saya cari cahaya yang ada di sini. Memang saya beragama Islam, tapi mengenai saya punya cap apa, saya masih polos. Dapat di sini cahaya yang benar. Inilah.
Dalam kesempatan jalsah ini Bapak
saya diminta berbicara, saya bilang saya belum bersedia berbicara, tapi ini putih inok kinong, putih bersih di luar sampai di dalam putih bersih.
Another activity done by Huzur in the framework of his tour to Indonesia was visiting a different localities of Jamaat Indonesia. This was done in marathon manner starting from Yogyakarta since June 22nd until June 25th, 2000. At Yogyakarta, beside attending the seminar, Huzur delivered Jum'ah Sermon Aidar, which was also broadcasted directly by the MTA International. Huzurs also opened a Majlis Irfan, sitting to open the opportunity for Ahmadi brothers and sisters to ask questions. Huzurs would attend to the mulakat.
Astaghfirullah Rabbi.
Astaghfirullah Rabbi.
Min kulli dhanbin.
645 persons has entered into the fold of Ahmadiyya spontaneously at Yogyakarta.
Astaghfirullah Rabbi. Min kulli dhanbin.
Min kulli dhanbin.
Wa atubu ilayh.
Wa atubu ilayh.
Astaghfirullah Rabbi.
Astaghfirullah Rabbi.
Min kulli dhanbin.
Min kulli dhanbin.
Wa atubu ilayh.
Wa atubu ilayh.
After Yogyakarta visit ended, Huzur left for Cirebon and Manislor by train. Despite a short visit at Manislor, yet Huzur shared his time to members of the community, old and young, males and females, even children, who eagerly wanted to see their master. From Manislor, Huzur continued his travel to Tasikmalaya Regency by road, about 3 hours ride by motorcar.
Abdul Wahab di Abdul Wahab men. Jangan kembali jangan Dia jangan ke dia. Shadow bill dia.
At Wanasigra, he met with about 4,000 of Ahmadi brothers and sisters from Tasikmalaya and Garut in a mulakat audience. After spending for one night at the Kampung Sumber Alam Hotel at Garut, Huzur with his entourage continued the travel to reach Bandung City, the capital city of West Java, famously called Kota Kembang, Flower City, and the city of Afro-ASEAN Conference. Despite of tiresome journey by road, yet Huzur would patiently attend the whole procedures scheduled at Bandung in the agenda of Mulakat meeting. Ahmadi brothers and sisters from Bandung and its surrounding area, Cianjur and its surrounding area, Sukabumi and its surround area. Mulakat session and Majlis Irfan of Huzur with Ahmadis create an emotional atmosphere, just like children missing their father, and just like father who has for a long time leaving his children. Therefore, the function of this kind was felt very short. A part of Yogyakarta, Padang city of West Sumatra, also has been chosen as a city of destination of Huzur's visit to Indonesia. The choice was given due to the fact that Padang is historical in the development of Jemaat Ahmadiyah in Indonesia. In his visit to Padang, which is famous with a typical food, Huzur spared his time to have dialogue with dignitaries of Padang's high society. Another region getting shower of blessing from Huzur was those regions outside of Java, such as Padang and Bali. Huzurs called for Majlis Irfan and Mulakat with Ahmadi brothers and sisters from Bali and Western Nusa Tenggara regions, Sulawesi regions, and Kalimantan. As the agenda was rather loose, so Huzur and his entourage availed the time for sightseeing, to see the beautiful and exotic panorama of Bali, and went offshore by boat for fishing sport. For Huzur, it was not an ordinary boating, but to admire things created by God, which is part of the conjunctions of Allah.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم
By the grace of Allah, all the sermons while Huzur staying in Indonesia were transmitted directly throughout the world by the MTA. Although in the beginning there was an implied doubt whether the direct transmission from Indonesia was the first experience of the MTA from Asian region, but in virtue of Allah's grace, the MTA International Indonesian Program has succeeded to transmit the 3 sermons of Hazrat Aqdas Khalifatul Masih, plus 1 international seminar from Yogyakarta without any significant hindrance. In the meantime, toward the return to London, Huzur set a moment to receive a courtesy call from the Minister Secretary of State His Excellency Johan Effendi. On occasion of the said minister, Huzur was accompanied by in charge of the Hospitality Committee for the Very Important Persons, Sofyan Lamardi, and Secretary Audio Video of National Majlis Amla, Abdul Qayyum. As the meeting was informal and familiar in nature, notwithstanding all that, Huzur presented to the minister a gift as a token of love.
सब्र से काम लो साथियों
22 days has elapsed unknowingly. Huzur's visit is still felt very brief. Assalamualaikum greetings, which always came out from Huzur's lips with warm feeling each time when Huzur was entering or leaving a place, is still ringing in our ears. His fatherly smile in his feature, although weary as he was, left a deep impression upon the mind. However, the most important thing out of all procedures of Huzur visit to Indonesia is how to realize all the aspiration and commitment for realizing the triumph of Islam through the world. Goodbye, Huzur. May that it will take no long time for us to see you again, Huzur, so that shall again meet Huzur, inshallah, in the better condition.
जिसने तो रतसर किबरे नमरूद का